Have you ever seen faces other than yours when you look at the mirror? What is that phenomenon? Stay with me, we will discuss about that. Hello, thank you for being here. Of course, we are interested in discussing, if you are in this video, about what sort of perceptions we have that may not be explained by just our physical body and our physical senses. This channel is about taking control of our personal evolution spiritually and here in this lifetime. We want to understand more about our natural capacities that may be a little bit non-ordinary or unusual. And I'm very fond of discussing this topic. When I was a young child, I remember that I would look in the mirror and I would see faces that didn't look exactly like myself, sometimes a little distortion, sometimes a big distortion, and I didn't know anything about subtle energies or the non-physical world. So for me it was a little puzzling, so there was a moment that I wouldn't even look in the mirror anymore, at least for a period of time. But then we want to understand, what is that and why this happens? Well, sometimes because our energies are more loose, and our energy field, and it gets a little bit more expanded. We look in the mirror and we are having some sort of clairvoyance that we are noticing like the overlap of our own subtle energies and our physical body. So sometimes this can get to a point that we connect to some non-physical presence, like a spirit or something like that, and we see a face that's not ours. But most of the time what we see is our face with some sort of distortion because of this overlay of subtle energies that we see on top of us, or this energy field that we are seeing at the same time. Now, a big issue here comes. Is there a problem? No, that is not a problem when that is natural, as it was with me. I was not trying, I was not doing anything, it would just happen and I would stop it as soon as I would finish combing or something like that. But sometimes people use this to practice clairvoyance. This is a little bit of a problem, and I'm going to explain why. Because when we are using this as a training process or something like that, what we have to do is that we have to focus a lot in the mirror and kind of expand our energies, let them more loose so that we can see things that are beyond the physical world or the physical dimension. And at this point, we will end up opening ourselves up for connections, energetic coupling with other non-physical presences. And in this case, we may end up at the end of the process having some contamination of energy or feeling a little bit drained because whatever we opened up to or we connected with not necessarily was very good for us at that moment. So in this case, what we would like to do, we would like to be very well prepared, energetically speaking, to do any sort of this exercise. It's not that we cannot, it's that it's not advisable because of this. It leaves us too open. There is not another person for us to close the connection, energetic connection in this case. But suppose you have a very good control of your energies. Let's say you can practice velo very well, or any other technique that you would like to. You are very stable, you know what's going on, you are familiar with this sort of non-ordinary phenomena. Then in this case, yes, you have maybe the techniques, the skills you need to be able to do that, and guarantee that at the end you are not going to end up with contaminations of energies, or you are not going to end up connecting with someone that you normally would not. But in truth is, if we have all of this possibility, we sense energy, we can control energies, we know what the phenomenon is, then why we would need to practice this sort of technique? So usually people who are in condition to practice this, they are not in need of. So please be very careful of this. When we do this sort of technique, and those of you that already participated in some of the courses that we offer, for example, in the Consciousness Development Program at the IEC, it's just an example, we practice facial clairvoyance. So seeing clairvoyance or practicing clairvoyance by looking at other people. that is different from what I discussed before. Why? Because when we have someone else to look at, we kind of close the energetic circuit. We have some sort of interaction that makes us stronger or less vulnerable to these connections that come from non-physical consciousness. Anyway, nice music's coming here. I have to stop. I hope this was useful to you. Thank you so much for being with me. See you in the next video.